Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to replace the humidifier pad in your Aprilaire humidifier. Aprilaire humidifiers are also rebranded and used by other manufacturers like Carrier, Lennox, uh, Honeywell, Bryant. So if you have one of those, this video should help you out. First thing you want to do is open the tab, open the cover using these tabs on the top. Just push down, it comes right off, nothing to it. You're going to want to close your humidifier damper. Right now you'll see it set to the winter position, which is where you want it during the winter season. Remove the feed tube here. Be careful, this is plastic, and while it's not real fragile, you don't want to really yank on this and potentially break it. I'm trying to do this all with one hand. And so, as you'll see up here, you can just pull this out and you'll hear that click. Now when you're pulling this out again, you want to be careful not to damage the feed tube here. And so just carefully pull this out and it comes right out. Take you over here. Now on the top you'll see the distribution tray where the water comes in. On either side you've got little clips that come right off. So it just comes right off. And you'll notice on the humidifier pad, the top of it's got a paint strip. So you can just slide this guy out real easy. I say it's easy, but it's a little hard to do with one hand. And you can see the buildup from the pad. And you're just going to want to make sure that that opening, that drain hole, is clear. And if you got something loose, you can try to get rid of it, clean it out with some water. But as long as that drain hole is clear and open, and it's going to stay that way, then you've got nothing to worry about. You've got a new humidifier pad. I've already ripped it open. Slides right out. And again, you're going to want to rotate it, pair the side with the paint goes on top, and then you also want to inspect the pad, make sure it's not damaged. I've seen some where they're real dented, and if they are, the water won't flow properly and then you'll get a leak. So that pad slides right back in, and you want to put the distribution tray back on. Now this can go on either way, doesn't matter, but only one side has the opening for the feed tube. So whichever side is that the feed tube is facing becomes the front. You want to make sure that clicks in on both sides. And when putting it back in, you'll see the bottom of this tray has that opening, which will go into the drain right there. So again, carefully, we'll push this feed tube to the side, and we'll make sure that the drain goes into the opening. Again, bear with me here, it's hard to do with one hand. There we go. And before it goes in, you'll hear, to make sure it's secured properly, you're going to want to hear it click on either side. So there's one, there's the other. And we'll just put that feed tube back into the opening. And then we're going to want to open our humidifier damper. And what I'm going to do is, when the furnace gets a call for heat, I'll turn the humidistat back on. And we're going to verify that this is operating properly without any leaks, and I'll bring you back for that. Well, here's our humidistat. I turned it off while I was replacing it, just in case the furnace turned on while I was replacing it, and if it did that, we wouldn't want water to fall everywhere. So we're going to go ahead, we'll set this to around 35% humidity or so, and then we'll test it. Alright, we've got a call for heat, and I don't know if you can hear the flow of the water from the humidifier, but the humidifier is running. And so whenever I replace a pad, I like to give it 30 seconds, a minute or two, just to make sure we're not going to get any leaks, any callbacks. And while I'm waiting for that, just a couple of things you're going to want if you've got your own humidifier is you'll see that the edges of the humidifier are sealed with some silicone. And if your humidifier isn't sealed, whether it's with tape or silicone or something like that, it's a good idea to get that sealed. Otherwise, if you're on the return side here, you're going to suck in air from the basement, which you don't want to do. And you can see we've got water flow coming in through our drain tube here. So the pad should be fully saturated by now. If there's going to be a leak, we should see it pretty soon, but I think we're all good here. If you've got any questions about humidifiers, leave them in the comments, and I'll be happy to try and answer them for you. But thanks for watching, and take it easy.